I mean, this was genuinely spectacular, and there's no other way to put it. The Flash stars Ezra Miller, Michael Keaton, and Sasha Calle. In this movie, Barry Allen uses his super speed to change the past, but his attempt to save his family creates a world without superheroes, forcing him to race for his life in order to save the future. Now, I was extremely excited for this movie. I've been excited for it for years now, because I was a big fan of the first couple of seasons of the Flash TV show on the CW. That was where my love for the character really formed, but I fell off of this show after it just started to decline in quality. But I was so excited to see how they would take the character of the Flash into the live action and see him in his own movie. Because of course he's been in a couple movies in the DCEU so far, but The Flash, this movie is fantastic, and I'll of course get more into my in-depth thoughts in a second. But before we do, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoy the rest of this review, and comment down below what are your thoughts or expectations for The Flash. But let's keep talking about the movie. Now, to put it simply, I walked out of this movie just feeling so giddy. Because on all levels, this movie checks off all the boxes and what you would want from a movie-going experience. I do want to start off by saying how emotional this movie is, because I was damn near getting choked up by the end of it. The Flashpoint storyline was one of the most acclaimed comic runs. And I won't get into specifics if you don't want to know what goes on in that storyline. Basically, at the end of the day, Barry Allen has to lose someone very close to him, and he has to come to terms with that. And over the course of this movie, you see that play out. And the story is going to hit home for anyone that has parents of their own or guardians. You're really just put into Barry Allen's shoes, and you can really feel for the character. And you don't need to have lost someone for this story to work. The emotional beats really hit home, and there's one scene in a supermarket where Barry is just talking to his mother towards the end of the film that is just really going to get you choked up. And a lot of that is due to how powerful of a performance Ezra Miller gives in this film. This is very much so their movie, which I'll talk about more in a second. I've never doubted Miller as an actor. I mean, if you haven't seen The Perks of Being a Wallflower, I would definitely recommend seeing it just for Miller's performance in that movie alone. Because all around, Miller hits. When it comes to comedic timing, they're great. When it comes to the more emotional moments, across the board you can't complain, and Miller embodies Barry Allen. At the start, I was like, yeah, that's Ezra Miller, but the further on I got into the movie, I really just started to see Barry Allen. And you just can't complain on that level when an actor embodies a character and just transforms themselves into the character. That's truly something to admire, and of course they're backed by Michael Keaton's Batman and Sasha Calle's Supergirl, who, to be honest, don't have many moments to stand out, but I feel like that really works when this is the Flash's movie. I was very worried this was going to be a Batman Flash movie or a Supergirl Flash movie, where the Flash as a character actually takes a back seat to seeing these other characters, but simply this movie is not that. It's incredibly entertaining as well, with the action sequences being so much fun to watch. The movie has a killer soundtrack, and I loved seeing how the songs were incorporated, especially into the action sequences. It's also just really funny and will bring out the laughs. It's not too silly. It very much so feels like a throwback to an 80s adventure action sci-fi film, where it doesn't take itself too seriously and at its core has a really heartfelt story. A lot of that is due to Andy Muschietti's direction. In a lot of ways it does feel very Spielbergian. The score is also superb, and I loved seeing how it incorporated the original Batman theme. As a whole, this movie is fantastic, and I have very little nitpicks, except only one real nitpick. And take this with a grain of salt, because I saw what I believe to be an unfinished cut of the movie. The cut that I saw of this film was, I believe, the cut that CinemaCon viewers were shown, where this movie had its first premiere. And before the premiere of that movie, Andy Muschietti even said that this is an unfinished cut, specifically in the visual effects department. Which makes a lot of sense if that is the same version that I saw, because there was a lot of sequences where the visual effects were distractingly bad, to the point where I couldn't just put it aside. General audiences probably won't even know it, because I definitely hope that by the time this movie comes out worldwide, there will be a final cut and the visual effects will look better. It's almost like one of those things where once you get it pointed out to you, you can't look away from it. Really, in the sequences where there are two Barry Allens, which unfortunately that's 80% of the movie, seeing two versions of Ezra Miller on screen doesn't look good. One of the versions of Ezra Miller looks like Ezra Miller. The other version looks like a visual effects computer-generated version of Ezra Miller. But I mean, other than that, there isn't much to complain about with The Flash when it comes to just being a movie where you can sit back, relax. It feels like a throwback to simpler comic book movies. You get a couple moments of fan service here and there when it comes to cameos, but this movie is not one that just relies on being a movie with a lot of cameos. It is a Flash movie. I can't emphasize that enough. It is funny, heartfelt. It also just moves by so quickly. It has a 2-hour and 20-minute runtime, but it just flies by. Very little moments drag. I mean, you can't complain. I can't wait to rewatch it as well. I'm gonna give The Flash an A. I hope you guys enjoyed The Flash as much as I did, and be sure to let me know down below in the comment section what you thought of it. I want to thank you so much for watching this review, and again, if you did enjoy it, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as well as that notification bell so you don't miss any further videos. And as always, look forward to more videos and reviews coming soon. My name is Ben, people call me Meter, and I'll see you guys in the next one.